Episode 6 of The Boys is about to change everything. We're talking brutal fights, major deaths, and a version of Homelander that might become completely unstoppable. The boys are planning a risky heist to steal the V1 serum, but they're not the only ones hunting it, because once Homelander gets his hands on V1, it's game over. And yes, that moment where Soldier Boy punches Homelander, it's even bigger than you think. Let's break down everything coming in episode 6. For the first time in a while, The Boys is going full chaos again. Not just shocking moments, but actual high-stakes superhero fights like we saw in Harrogasm. And episode 6, this might be the most action-packed episode of the entire season, because right now, both The Boys and Vaughn are racing toward the same thing, the V1 serum. Whoever gets it first wins. And if Homelander gets it, there's no stopping him anymore. But here's where it gets insane. This entire episode is building toward multiple fights happening at the same time, including a mysterious new supe, and a battle that could finally reveal how to kill an immortal. And trust me, not everyone is walking out alive. It looks like episode 6 kicks off with something unexpected. A full-on heist inside a supe retirement home. Yeah, Vaughn isn't just hiding powerful heroes, they're hiding the old ones too. And the boys, they're breaking in. We see them fighting through guards, and even retired supes. Which means this place is way more dangerous than it looks. But here's the real question. Why this location? Because their target isn't a weapon. It's an elderly woman in a wheelchair. And they don't save her. They kidnap her. Which tells us one thing. This is bait. The theory. She's connected to Bombsite, possibly his wife. And the boys are forcing him to come to them. And if that's true, they're about to drag an immortal supe straight into a trap. But the heist doesn't go clean, because inside that facility, there's someone waiting, a new supe, and she's a serious problem. We see both Butcher and Kimiko run into her, but not together, which means one thing. She's controlling the entire battlefield. Her ability, some kind of force field or barrier power. And this isn't just defense. It completely shuts down attacks. Even someone like Kimiko, who usually tears through enemies, gets slowed down. And Butcher, he can't just brute force his way through this. So now the mission changes. It's not just about breaking in anymore. It's about surviving long enough to reach their target. Because if this supe can hold them here, the entire plan to trap Bombsite falls apart. And then, everything escalates. Because the bait works, Bombsite finally shows up, and the moment he enters, this stops being a heist and turns into a full-blown war. This guy isn't a normal supe. He does fly. He launches himself like a human missile. Fast, brutal, and stoppable. And here's the worst part. He's immortal. Thanks to the V1 serum, Bombsite literally can't be killed. At least, not in any normal way. Which means Butcher and the team aren't just fighting to win. They're fighting something they don't even know how to kill yet. And that's where things get interesting. Because this fight might not just be about survival. It could be the moment they finally discover how to take down an unkillable supe. And if they figure that out, it changes everything, especially for Homelander. But the biggest moment from the teaser, Soldier Boy punching Homelander straight in the face. And no, this isn't just a random hit. This could be the moment everything starts to break. Because all season, there's been tension building between them. And now it's finally boiling over. The question is, why now? Is this revenge, a warning, or something smarter? A move to take Homelander out of the game just long enough to grab the V1 serum first? Because let's be honest, Soldier Boy isn't the type to follow anyone. And if V1 really means immortality, he has every reason to betray Homelander right here. But there's another possibility. This could all be a fake out, just a quick hit, trailer bait, nothing more. Because if Soldier Boy actually turns on Homelander for real, that's not just a fight, that's a full-scale war between two of the most dangerous supes alive. While all this chaos is happening, there are two side stories that might be just as dangerous. First, Annie, Starlight is heading into a confrontation inside a church. And this isn't just talk anymore. She's going up against Father, a supe who can unleash a hypersonic scream powerful enough to destroy everything around him. And if this turns into a real fight, Annie could be walking straight into a trap. Meanwhile, things are getting worse under the ocean. The tension between the Deep and Blackmore 2 is finally exploding. There's a theory that Moore sabotages the Deep, humiliating him and pushing him over the edge. And if that's true, this could be the moment the Deep finally snaps. Not jokes, not insecurity, actual violence. Because if he kills Moore too, that's not just revenge. It proves he's becoming just as unstable as the rest of them. But none of this compares to what's coming next. Because behind the scenes, something much bigger is happening. Homelander is getting closer to the one thing that could make him truly unstoppable. V1. We see Sister Sage working inside a Vought lab, running tests, preparing something, and it's pretty clear what this is leading to. If Homelander takes the V1 serum, this isn't just a power boost, this is evolution, immortality, no weaknesses, and possibly even immunity to the only weapon that can kill supes. Think about that for a second. The boys' entire plan, everything they've built, becomes useless. No virus, no backup plan, no second chance. And once that happens, you're not fighting Homelander anymore. You're dealing with something you can't stop and can't kill. And if all of that wasn't enough, this might be where everything truly collapses. Because we see Homelander sitting in the Oval Office, not as a guest, but as the one in control, which raises a terrifying possibility. What if Homelander doesn't just want power? What if he's already taken it? Whether it's manipulation or something far worse, this could be the moment he becomes the most powerful man on the planet. And if that happens, every supe, every system, every country falls under him. The boys won't just be outmatched, they'll be completely outnumbered. But here's where things get interesting. There might be one unexpected connection that changes everything. Gen V. If Marie Morrow returns, someone who also has ties to V1, she could be the only person who understands what Homelander is becoming, and maybe the only one who can stand against him. Because at this point, stopping Homelander might not be about strength anymore. It might come down to who shares his power. Episode 6 of The Boys is shaping up to be the turning point of the entire season. At this stage, it's not just about fights anymore. It's about who controls the future of supes. The boys are gambling everything on a risky plan to stop an unstoppable force, while Vought is pushing forward with something that could make Homelander completely untouchable. And the truth is simple. There might not be a clean win here. Someone is going to lose everything. So now the real question is, do the boys even have a path left to victory? Or is this already the beginning of the end? Drop your theory in the comments who survives episode 6 and who doesn't. And if you want the full breakdown of what happens next, subscribe, because things are only getting worse from here.